Let me tell you something about a new space game I just discovered. It's called Underspace, and it wants to be a new Freelancer. And it does it already, although it's in alpha state, pretty well. What is Underspace? Underspace is an open world space arcade dogfighting game where every star system is crafted by hand and every star system has something to see or do. At least that's what the developers say on Steam. What I have seen so far is a very ambitious project, not focusing on extremely crazy graphics, but more on a creative approach of space gaming that we haven't seen in a while. The UI and how the game acts and feels is really inspired heavily, if not even taken almost completely, from Freelancer, which is not that bad because Freelancer was a great game. And why not building on top of that success story? Even though we have waited for another game coming out that is like or even Freelancer 2, there was no game like that, and sometimes every now and then developers try to bring that back. What do I have experienced in my short time with the game? First of all, there is a first-person mode, so you can walk around stations, even land on planets and stuff like that. It reminds me a lot, again, about Freelancer, where you have like a small arrangement of rooms where you can walk around. You have like your equipment vendor, you have your ship vendor, you have a bar, you have a hangar where you can walk around and do stuff, speak with people. But you don't need to walk around with them. You can also just simply use the UI to get to every single part you want to pretty easily. At the moment, you have a small selection of ships. You cannot build the ships yourself. You buy pre-built ships, or you buy pre-built models, and then you equip them with equipment that you want. You have weapons, you have heavy weapons, you have countermeasures, you have your auxiliary stuff, you have shields, hull, and whatsoever, and upgrades that you can do with those ships. At the moment, there are only fighters and freighters. So you have like light fighter, medium fighter, heavy fighter, and then freighter. That's at the moment all you get, like I said, but this is still in alpha state. Why is it creative? Well, because you do have races that are creative. You have like flying computers, you have some kind of bugs that are talking with you, and then they're trying to build like interesting quests in this universe. So far I have seen a quest where there is a battleship that has got an infection or something that you should clear out, but then you clear out this infection and you get called by another scientist, and the scientist is like, hey, I put that infection on that ship because I wanted to research the life form that is infecting like hull systems and whatsoever. And you're like, okay, so what do I do now? Do I give the scientist a little bit of time so that he can study the infection, or do I call him out and do the job that I was actually booked for?
Let me stay here. I'll only be here a few more days and study my ilk. Tell the station master that the ilk managed to eat away some paneling or something, making it unsafe until the radiation dies down. I'll be fine. All the sapient races benefit, and somewhere down the line some Baldwin politician gets their pet project finished, alrighty?
Alrighty? I'll think about it.
Think all you want, just don't shoot my damn ilk.
So there are already some creative thoughts in this game, and therefore I can stop looking at the graphics too much. I mean, nowadays in times like where you have like those retro games coming out, retro shooters, you have like blocky art games like Roblox, you have all these styles of games that just do look retro. You kind of forget how the game looks like, because like when the light effects are good, I think light effects in a space game are extremely important. When the light effects are good, and especially if the sound design is good, which they really need to work on a lot in my opinion. But when the sound design is good and the lighting, then I can look over a lot of those models, because you like, you know, the space is space. If you have a good background, then it just simply looks good. I have seen so far two different styles of weapons. So you have your missile launchers or your launchers, and then you have your particle weapons, and that's the only thing that I've seen so far. And then you have like your fighters, and then of course AI is also using some battleships, which you can even land on, which is kind of cool if you ask me. And then you have stations and planets to land on, but basically they share all the same rooms that you can engage. So even if it's a planet, you also just have a bar, a hangar, equipment, and maybe a cargo thing. The cool thing is when you go with cargo, you can see where you can get like good prices, so you already know, is it worth it to grab it and do a trade run maybe in between fighting or whatsoever. You will have also campaigns that you can follow, like campaign quests that you can follow. And they say, okay, once you are engaged into one of those campaign quests, you cannot do anything else before you completed the campaign quest, which is kind of nice, because then you're like following one of those quests, and after that you can free roam again. So far what I see on their Steam page is very promising, because they have a lot of different scenarios that they want to put into their space with different life forms, even very creative stuff, creative spaceships, creative anomalies in space, which I think are really important for a space game. I think it's all about anomalies when you want to create a creative fantasy style space game, and that's what they're promising on their page. You cannot buy the game at the moment. This is only for wish listing. I did get a code to try it out. That's what you see at the moment, is the gameplay with the code, but there is already a demo that you can try out through their website, and I do have the link to their website and also the link to the demo in the panels down below, or in the description down below. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you about a new upcoming game, Underspace. It looks promising. It's fun to play, actually, and it's creative, and I'm looking forward to a beta version maybe at some point with some refined, polished gameplay, and hopefully we get something like that in the future. It's made by Underspace Interactive, which I think is a fantastic name for a game like that, or for a developer that makes a game like that. So looking forward to that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.